Hello, this is Paloma. I come back with the story the sky is telling for the next few days, maybe a little longer this time. Thank you for sharing space with me. So I've been thinking about what does it mean to be a spiritual warrior now with this sky. In truth, I enjoy this space on Saturdays where I dance my prayers and I sort of like untangle the energy, the emotions, and the thoughts to have a clear intent for my Sunday videos. So I was feeling into the eclipse. We just went through this partial solar eclipse in Aries. And I think it might have brought up to our surface some anger, some feeling very tired, although I have the impression that this tiredness has to do with a lot of energy not knowing where to go. I hear there is this truly strong internal clamor to retrieve space, to untangle our emotional bodies from all the drama and the stories, to become the true authority within our mental realm, and to stop the the delusions, and to truly occupy all the space that we occupy with our energy without diminishing it through false humility or even a not very well understood empathy. There is something deep, actually quite serene once you get there, that is pushing from the inside so you can reclaim your life. That's for me the energy of the eclipse and Neptune entering Aries. It's like this ignition of this inner sacred fire. There might be this layer of rage that purifies and that also shows us where are these spaces that are being transgressed and that are limiting our ability to affirm our existence. In truth, it is not to someone else, it is to our own selves, because that's the warrior's battle. It happens inside to begin with. And if we are to retrieve, to reclaim sovereignty as humanity, we have to learn to be sovereign of our own impulses, memories, conditionings, labyrinths, and trauma. And that's for me the beauty of Neptune in Aries, because I do hear this longing to fully receive ourselves in the totality of who we are and in this communion with the self, to find everything we thought was elsewhere. It is a labor of compassion. I don't see another path other than compassion, because it means to actually enter the space that we've been probably avoiding all our lives, which is pain. We are living in this avoidance of pain, whichever name we have for this fear, whether it's abandonment, rejection, there is an underlying pain that is actually ruling over our lives. And to become truly sovereign, to be free, is to enter this very feared space and to feel into it. And then our life is not about avoiding it. You get me? So there, I think we can see beyond the resistance, we truly enter the dimension of true beauty and genuine freedom. That is why this is a time for the brave, for the courageous, because to actually retrieve agency, power, and autonomy, we first need to rehabilitate the I am, that we all are within, and surrender all our efforts to divine will that truly operates without mistakes through you and me when we become clear channels by allowing. So if we are to stop playing this game of victim perpetrators and truly become creators, we have to let go now of all of these absurd battles, to not feel pain or fear, and truly enter life with an open heart that is continuously available to empty itself over and over again, so we can become light as a feather, as the mat feather. In truth, I was thinking that, how arrogant we can be as humanity, thinking nature needs us to heal herself, when it is us that need her to heal ourselves. We need to remember we are nature, and therefore everything is okay. Because everything in the natural world knows intrinsically what is necessary for life to thrive, even if what's necessary is death. And there is a dying of an identity or an identification going on within you and me and everyone. Because in order to be reborn in Aries, we have to dissolve in Pisces. So Neptune, nonetheless, has just crossed over this threshold from Pisces to Aries. We cannot truly understand Neptune with our small minds. He rules in the shamanic realms of the higher worlds, where we have inspiration, revolution, eternity, this infinite nature of creation emanating, continuously recreating and expanding the potential of everything. This is the dream world, from where we actually pull threads into the manifestation in form of something finite, even ephemeral, so that creation may celebrate herself through our experience, our witnessing, our making tangible the world through our eyes, as the world disappears and appears continuously. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and not in every lifetime, actually, because this is quite a significant movement. Neptune entering a different archetype school, and not just any, it's just the movement from Pisces to Aries, which is such a big deal because this is the spark that ignites, initiates everything. So it is a clear new beginning, a new spiritual era, a redefining the dream and truth and the longing, because there is this longing of feeling in unity, feeling connected in Neptune. And if the wound that has caused more damage in our experience is the illusion of separation, the healing comes from knowing ourselves connected, interdependent, and in complete belonging to this magnificent symphony. Yet when we connect through Pisces, we dissolve. We become everything. We are no longer the drop or the wave. We are the ocean, right? And this does not happen in Aries. And that's what's exciting. We can maintain unity consciousness by staying individuals. So I wonder what kind of creative unfolding can happen when each one of us, being who we are, express our potential in communion to unity through singular expression. I don't think we can imagine this, but there is this great potential. If there is a sign full of potential, it's Aries, especially the first degrees. And I wonder, how will this express and become through you and through me? I think this is a renewal of the dream of the world. And I was thinking about it as, the spiritual warrior or the compassionate or peaceful warrior, maybe even the spiritual activist, because this is the merging of the archetypes. But what does that mean to embody this right now? And to be honest, for the time being, it gives me the impression that it is not fighting. It is not even protecting or defending. It is trusting. Because if we enter this dynamic of protection and defenses through Aries, we might go into this inertia of war that is there, and we will think it's in our hands. And this spiritual warrior to me knows there is something bigger, a lot bigger and wiser, that is actually leading and guiding, inspiring. And in that dimension of trust and love, there is truly nothing to defend ourselves from. Bringing it down a little, nudging it down a little bit into this realm of reality. Of course, there are boundaries we are to honor in ourselves and others. I think there are new causes that will awaken our passion and therefore our movement. And there is this tiny piece of the big dream that can only become reality through you. And at the end of my dancing yesterday, of my dancing my prayers, I kneeled to Mother Earth and asked, how can I serve better in this time? And the only thing I heard was, bloom, bloom. To speak of Neptune is also to speak of faith. In Aries, it is faith in ourselves. It is entrusting that there is a knowingness that is attuned to divine intelligence and that speaks through intuition, also instinct. We are being guided to be the pioneers, truly the pioneers of our families, of our lineages, of our cultures, to be the ones that open new destiny and new paths, our own path. Truly, this will reverberate as the liberation of everyone that wasn't able to choose their own path, but it begins by choosing yourself, by you choosing you. There is a trap, I would say, yes, of individualism, even in an extreme narcissism, or the delusion of leaderships that are so twisted with self-importance. Because yes, there is that. And if historically we look at Other moments where Neptune entered Aries, there were wars, great holy battles, fighting to defend ideologies, ironically to defend peace. And it's okay, this is our story and it has led us here. But I think the beauty of the spirals is that when we come back to a point, we have the ability or the opportunity to choose to do it differently and with more awareness, more freedom perhaps. So I would ask you, in this new, which is a truly new spiral of time, how does this look for you? Choosing from a place of more freedom, awareness, awakened. What choice of path can you offer yourself today? There is a new vision opening space within your inner sight. This is not the time for immediate action or implementation. This is more like the conception in the light. I see fire and water in balance in the womb of creation to launch us into a new adventure. Yes, for the time being, with Mercury and Venus still retrograde, we are to breathe. It's like slow love making this sky. And with Neptune in Aries, I think it's a really update, of how we live our energy, how we relate. It is a moment to truly differentiate ourselves so we can discover our true identity. We are closing up a very large spiritual evolutionary cycle where I still believe responsibility, self-realization, self-knowledge will be essential for this transformation, personal and collective. We are leaving behind this victim mentality so we can take charge of our own lives, really. So the date it begins the 30th of March 2025. In July 2025, Neptune is going to start its retrograde motion, and by October, he's going to go back for a brief moment to Pisces until the 26th of January 2026, where he will enter Aries and stay there until 2039. Also worth noting, by the 13th of February 2026, it's forward, but it's quite important, we will have that conjunction of Neptune and Saturn in the 0 degrees of Aries, which is quite epic as well. This gives a lot of consolidation or solidification, can I say that? To our dreams, okay? So the time to this very passive dreaming has ended with this. We are being called to align ourselves bravely or to align our personal will bravely with this higher vision that the universe has for ourselves. At the beginning, I think there might be a lot of uncertainty because we are learning to move between impulsiveness and spiritual clarity, and that's okay. I think we will be guided to find balance between surrender and affirmation, flowing and initiating, and to trust this process whilst illusions may be fading. A true essence is emerging. This spiritual evolution will thrive through action and also faith. I think for now we are to move forward gently, without fear, just knowing that we are truly being guided by something bigger and loving and compassionate. This is truly a new chapter, one where I think dreams can become true. Because as you heard, Saturn is coming this way. He's entering Aries in May to bring a lot of tangibility to this vision that is opening up inside yourself. So that's where we are at, family. We are opening April this week. I would say the first week, the first part of April, we are still processing a lot of energy, and all this energy is going to gain a lot of momentum, a lot of dynamic tension, actually, by the full moon in Libra. And then Venus and Mercury starting their direct motion, and then Mars entering Leo, and then having his third and final opposition to Pluto at the end of April. I think we will have moments later in the month that will be quite decisive, and choices will have to be made. For now, I would invite you to just breathe through this birth. In the window time of this week in particular, Venus is rising in the sky as a morning star. So I would say, if you can look at her, she is inspiring our hearts. She will be joining the North Node this week, which is just like this has been orchestrated by your souls. And there is these karmic adjustments and openings to new creative energy, ways of relating or relationships. In this week especially, I find that there's a very open energy because there is a very held energy by the dialogues of support between Uranus, Saturn, and Mars, which are flowing. It's like surfing the emotional waves with I don't know, with excitement, no, but with a revolutionary energy. It's as if the pieces are falling into place now, and we will have the capacity to collaborate with this energy from a very creative way of responding, and also being quite responsible for ourselves and diligent, I would say. So yeah, Neptune is actually entering Aries in a sextile to Pluto. So this is revolution. You are the revolution of love, the birth of the warrior that perhaps leaves war behind and blooms in service to life, opening new paths, giving birth to new initiatives for the good of all. And we chose to be here now, so I think we've got what it takes. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We are the seeds of this new time. So this week, I think we can start moving a bit more freely from flexibility and especially completely attuned to this radical trust. That's what I have, family. Thank you. Blessings.